taking the center stage. Tim and I have been talking about this. A good way is to be able to put them in a platform that they are discovered by not just Filipinos but also non-Filipino fans. So if you put them side by side with an international artist, the base of discoverability becomes larger and the reach becomes bigger. So this is the same that we're doing for the other festival, but this is very different because this one is a collaboration between Korea and the Philippines. And we're doing it first in the Philippines. And by the name itself, it says On Festival of Manila. So that off means it can go somewhere else other than Manila.
Ooh, very exciting. And I'm sure after that, our press friends also have their own questions. So may I invite our media friends to ask our questions. We do have somebody who can assist you if you do have questions for both Tim and Aldrin about the On Music Festival. So don't be shy. They're very, very nice. They will answer all of your questions. They'll be very generous with their answers as well. So yeah, there we go. We have Justin.
Hi, good afternoon mga kapamilya. I'm Justin Irons from ABSCBN PR. Hi, DJ Sam. Hi, Sir Adrian. And our friends from the media have a lot of questions in store for you this afternoon. I'd like to begin by calling ABS-CBN News Online, Carl Cedric Basco, to throw the first set of questions.
Your first set, so a lot. I love it.
Before he goes on, I'd like to thank our friends from the media for coming over to Parañaque. It's not our usual QC venue, so we're flattered and humbled to be na mapuntahan tayo dito.
Good afternoon, sirs. To serve you first, why did you consider the Philippines as the first venue of the On Music Festival?
So KAMP has been very active in the Philippines market the past couple of years, including being part of the Dreammaker series, where Horizon debuted recently. Through those projects, I've fortunately had a lot of opportunity to come to Manila. And I always joke with Aldrin that I consider this place my second home. So it's very natural that we wanted to bring a project here. Furthermore, to talk a little bit more about the name On, it means all, entire, warmth, and also the number 100 in Korean. We created this festival and named it On under the theme of the celebration of love of music. Koreans, our culture, we love music, and through my experience here in the Philippines, I've learned that music is a very, very big part of the Filipino culture. And I felt like there's a very big similarity there, and wanted to create an opportunity, an inaugural opportunity to create a platform, as Aldrin said, where we can cross border and experience together the love for music. So that's why we decided to do the first one.
Thank you, sir. And obviously, you have a good connection with ABS-CBN. So with that, how would you describe your partnership with ABS-CBN?
It's very exciting. Obviously, for the Philippines it's a very important market to K-pop and K-music. A lot of our fans are located here, which is why we try to come as much as we can often. We had, like Dreammaker, we've already had very exciting projects. This is our second big project with ABSCBN, and hope that it's the second to many more.
Thank you, sir. To Sir Alvin, what should we expect on this inaugural event of On Music Festival here in the country?
If you look at the lineup, this is not your usual concert. So this is actually an all-day festival, music festival. It's similar to a festival from Western Festival, wherein you do it all day. So we've announced that at the very least, each artist will be performing 40 minutes. It's between 40 to 60 minutes per artist. So we can do the math. So 8 artists, 40 to 60 minutes. So that's how long the festival would be. The genres are very different from Suho, Melomans, Wave to Earth, Theory. I watch a lot of K-dramas and team knows this. So I know the music of Melomans and Wave to Earth. And of course, course, Theory. And then from the Philippines, we have Ben and Ben, Moira, Adi, and Darren Espanto, who's again very different genres from each other. So expect a very, very different, varied, but enjoyable music festival. Again, it's an all day. We've announced that gates open at 12 and we'll probably end at around 11. So that's how long the festival is. So imagine this an indoor music festival where people can go in and out of the arena because obviously there's a changeover for after every artist. So it's very different. It's the first time that they're actually doing this, and it's an indoor music festival. If you've heard of an outdoor music festival, this is an indoor music festival.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sid. And for our next set of questions, we have from Inquirer, Hannah Mallorca.
Hi, good afternoon. Hi, I'm here. So, this is for Mr. Tim Kim. So, can you tell us how the Korean artists featured were picked for this one?
So the process wasn't very easy. There are a lot of very talented artists that we would love to feature. This year it's a one-day festival. Hopefully in future events we want to make it a 2-3 day festival where we can bring more artists who we like to bring. Specifically for this year, we chose artists that are obviously first kind of different in genre, all four of them, and ones that haven't come to Manila as often. Actually, in fact, I think most of them are coming for the first time. Suho, I think, hasn't performed individually here yet. He's been a part of EXO. So we've handpicked these artists that we can showcase and want to showcase their artist side and haven't come to Manila yet.
So, will there be an on festival in other countries?
We are planning and exploring different cities around the world, and Aldrin and I, our vision for this On Festival is for it to be a global festival where we can bring not only more artists, but artists from different genres and different countries as well. So hopefully, yes.
So thank you. So this is for Sir Aldrin. So how did this collaboration with KAMP begin?
How did it begin? So, of course, I was introduced to Tim. My first project with Tim is actually in LA, their KAMP festival in LA. We were their media partners. I know how stressful that festival can be. But from then on, we actually became very close. We became friends. We get to watch we watch a few festivals together. We've traveled to some countries together to just see whether it's feasible to do a festival in those countries. We've been talking about this since probably last year, or even when the first time we went, we've been talking about how we can collaborate. So this is finally we're doing it. Of course, the timing has to be right, the artist has to be right. So it's not an easy process, but it's a long process. But I get to communicate with Tim even if he's in Korea, in the Philippines, or I'm somewhere else. He's somewhere else. I remember before we start the call, we say, "Where are you first?" so that's how it all started, and luckily it's now happening.
So can you tell us the story behind the On Festival?
The story about, when you say story about On Festival, how it all, well, we started with we wanted a Valentine's concert, remember Tim? The first time, let's do a Valentine's concert. And then we got a date. We can't find the artist because it's Valentine's. Most of the artists are booked. And then we wanted to do so we looked for a date, and sometimes it's so difficult to book a venue. And then, of course, when you get a venue, book an artist, and then we wanted it to be a festival. We wanted it to be initially planning for an outdoor, so there's a lot of, the weather in the Philippines can be tricky. Sometimes all of a sudden it would rain and it would affect your festival. And of course, we want to have a good facilities also for the audience. Let's face it, not outdoor festivals that have the right facilities. So it's a long process. It's whenever we watch a concert, say this is what we want to do, this is what we should do. And when we look at VIP perks, we even say, oh, this is the kind of t-shirt that we want. So every time we get to see each other, we talk about it, and then the lineup was actually, I was out of the country, he's out of the country, and we were just calling and finalizing the lineup. I'm not in the Philippines then. I know you were in Korea when we were finalizing the lineup. So that's how it started.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Hannah of Inquirer. Before I give the microphone to the next media will ask set of questions. Gusto ko lang po itanong, I'd like to ask Sir Alvin, as a Kapamilya employee, this really excites me. Like, wow, meron ng music festival sa ABS-CBN. I'd like to know, as your team mentioned a while ago that you have visited numerous music festivals abroad, and how do you think the experience will be different here in the Philippines?
First, it's indoor. so
Yeah.
So this one, it's indoor. It's an indoor festival, so at least you don't worry about the weather. But in terms of experience, it pretty much like a Western festival when it's an all day. You go in, watch a full set, and then there's normally a break because there's a changeover because this is going to be a live band. So each artist will be playing with a live band, and each artist will have their own technical requirements. So there's a changeover, there's another sound check after every set. So, and then the audience can go out and what we prepared is both a musical experience, a food experience, and obviously a cultural experience between Korea and the Philippines. So it's going to be that. I hope it's going to be different from the festivals that you attended.
Wow, is there a particular attire that guests should wear? Like for example, sa Coachella, like very distinct the outfits that they wear there.
We did not, I guess, impose that you come to the festival you're convenient and very comfortable. But remember, this is indoor, so it's air conditioned. So Tim is wearing a hoodie, I'm not, so I'm not actually suffering now. It's really cold. So so just imagine that it's inside Moa Arena and it can be cold inside Moa Arena.
Thank you, AMC. For our next set of questions, we have from One Music Philippines, Chris Ramos.
Hi. I'm just curious. How long term has the planning been for this festival? Not only for this year, but for the other ones. How long have you been trying to form this one for this year? And also, I am curious also as if you're already also working towards planning for the next couple of years as well.
So, Aldrin, fast forward, mentioned the Valentine's idea. That idea actually, the heart of that idea was that the genre that resonates between the two countries are very similar. In Korea, obviously we have the popular K-pop idol genre, but domestically, the ballad, R&B's, the urban music is very popular. And through my experience here in the Philippines, I found that to be very similar. So we wanted to create a Valentine's love theme, heartbreak and makeup type genre, ballad, R&B, urban festival. So I think that festival idea was the seed to a bigger plan that we have created. And in terms of duration, it's probably a year and a half, 2 years since we've been talking about this. As for future events, of course, I want this to be an annual festival here in Manila, as well as bring it to different countries around the world. Specifically Asia first. And as I said earlier, we have the vision of creating this to be the Asian festival where we can bring other Asian country artists to be part of the festival as well.
Very good. Yeah, thank you so much, Chris, of One Music. Our next set of questions will come from Pink Siazon of Pep.ph.
Hi, good afternoon. To Aldrin. How did you come up with the lineup of Filipino artists for on festival?
So, how did we come up? So first is we looked at the genres that will match the genres of the Korean artists. So if you've noticed, if you look at Melomans, if you listen to their songs, they're more on the mellow side, indie pop. So we wanted to match that so that it doesn't like spike all of a sudden. But the theme is about we talked about. Remember we talked about movies soundtracks because he would always tease me because I watch more K-dramas than him. So so he would tell me, "Oh, let's do K-drama soundtrack." So and then the artist for the Philippines, of course, I've run it with him. He's very familiar with the Filipino artists, so I gave him several names to choose from, and of course, it all boils down to availability of those artists. So obviously, we chose a very good lineup, and you'll see their genres is very different also. Ben, Moira, Adi was just became very popular recently, and Darren Espanto who just released a new single under Star Music. So those are the things that were considered. Definitely the kind of genre and that would match the genres that the Korean artists would be playing in.
I would like to confirm with Tim since Aldrin mentioned that you're familiar with the Filipino artists, so you listen to them, the ones that you are featuring in this concert.
Yes, I have and do. I think I've been coming to Manila for the past 2-3 years, minus COVID. And I am a very avid music listener. I pretty much listen to every genre. And because we represent a lot of K-pop artists out of Korea as well as curate festivals around the world, I think it's also part of my job to listen to a lot of music and also keep up with trends and whatnot. And coming to Manila a lot, I've naturally come across a lot of talented artists. I go to QC a lot and stop by Showtime. Stop by the studios, walk by, see Derek Lauren, and meet his artists and whatnot. So I think it was very natural for me to study and listen to the artists. So I think when Aldrin gave me the 4 names, I was very familiar with most of them.
So now that you are showcasing both Korean and Filipino talents together in one stage, do you think it's possible that in the future these artists could like work together for music and not just share this one stage?
Yes, we are exploring some opportunities already, and we very much look forward to creating collaboration projects and more often bring these collaboration opportunities on stage as well.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you, Pink. Any more questions from the media? Charlie, baka may question ka? Yeah, sorry. From Charlie Pagulong of the Philippine Star on the spot.
So, why did you choose November 3 as the date of the concert after Halloween and not like Christmas? After Halloween?
Okay, that's on me. On the of course, we look at what's the available dates, and then based on available dates, it's after a payday. So I used to be the CFO of ABSCBN, so I put in a lot of number analysis when I do business, and it's also by profession, we're the same profession. We're both accountant by profession, but music lovers, and we listen to a lot of music. So we think about what's the best time, the number of months of preparation, and also when we go towards November and December, that gets crowded. And at the same time, for foreign artists, that's when they actually, in most cases, it's their rest period, and most of the awards outside is happening towards that period. So there's a less availability in terms of artists, and also that's the time that they start write. There's a lot of logic behind it. They start writing their own songs for their new releases for the next year. They don't normally release songs during Christmas because it will get drowned with Christmas songs. So those are a lot of variables that was considered to come up with the date.
Okay,